Coming up on this episode of Earth, we travel to Western Germany to see how a pioneer in the iron and steel business is now helping the global metals industry reduce its carbon footprint. In Honduras, you'll be amazed by what one of the world's largest t-shirt producers is doing to protect the environment. We find out how sustainable innovation is helping protect our water supply, how sustainable technology is shaping the future of one of our favorite spices, the garlic, and how sustainable development is turning the shopping center of the future into an environmental education. It's all coming up on Earth. Hi, I'm John Holden.
And I'm Andrea Ocampo.
Welcome to Earth. Hi, I'm John Holden, and welcome to Earth. We're starting off our show here in Western Germany, in the small town of Hilchenbach. You know, for centuries, this area was known as Iron Country, and if you walk around the village, you see lots of markers dedicated to its heritage of mining iron ore. But the mines have all closed down now, but the steel making continues. And today this area is at the forefront of helping the global metals industry reduce its carbon footprint, as you're about to see. You're probably aware by now that metals of all kinds can be melted, reshaped, and reused to create a circular economy that can really benefit Earth's environment. Repurposed metals contribute to new products and infrastructure people need, reducing the need to mine raw metals and start the process from scratch. But who invents these processes? Who sets eco-friendly manufacturing and recycling strategies in motion? It's happening here in the small town of Hilchenbach, Germany, once the site of the historic Stahlberg iron ore mine. The door is locked to the mine now because the mine closed over 90 years ago when iron ore mining stopped. But the steel making continues today, where new technologies are being used to turn metals green.
So after they closed, all of these equipment suppliers and the industry which was providing support for the mining at that time were continuously working on developing the technology further, and that was the root of SMS as well. Our company started here at 1871, so we are more than 150 years tradition now, and this is the heart and the backbone of the SMS Group, and we have developed the technology further to become today the leading technology supplier for the steel and metals industry.
Burkhard Dahmann speaks from experience. He's the CEO of German-based SMS Group, which has a long history and pioneering role in the metals industry.
Our environmental mission is to make metals green, and there we have two ways of doing it. The first one is to make the production green. So we have solutions developed to reduce the carbon dioxide emission to the existing facilities by modernizing those, but we also have developments to use hydrogen instead of electrical power or instead of coal, to replace those fossil energies through hydrogen and then go with the hydrogen into a direct reduced iron production facility. So that is something in order to contribute to the green steel or green metals. The second one is the recycling, because once you have something in hand, why to throw it away?
One of SMS Group's joint ventures is located at the company's Hilchenbach manufacturing facility. Here, a company called Promobius works to recycle lithium-ion battery materials.
The lithium batteries are currently used in hybrid cars, electronic cars, and these are the charging material for providing the energy for the cars, and that is coming up more and more from today's world into the future.
Non-ferrous metals in batteries and consumer electronics keep the world moving. They're essential in making all kinds of products we use every day, like smartphones, computers, televisions, household appliances, and batteries for vehicles. All these valuable metals can and must be collected and recovered for a greener future. SMS Group has continuously developed recycling processes and improved its technologies. Today, the company plays a significant role in circular economy and in shaping the market.
We are surrounded by valuable metals. For example, you can take the cell phone. Nobody really knows what is inside, but there are so many valuable metals we have to recycle. For example, you can look here, we are talking about gold, silver, copper, nickel, lead and tin, but we have to get it out of this product again when it's end of life. So, how does the recycling work and how complex it is? Therefore, we can take this cup of coffee as an example. You mix beans, water, milk and sugar to make it a perfect drink, but how do you recycle it? So, you can evaporate the water to get purified water, which is quite a good product after your purification. But your beans, your milk and your sugar will be not in the same quality as you started off. And that's the complexity of recycling, what we're dealing with today, to get the same quality of products what we put into the products after our recycling processes.
One of the customers using SMS Group's global recycling solutions operates here in the northern city of Hamburg, Germany. It's considered Germany's gateway to the world because ships from nearly every continent enter this important harbor, carrying supplies and materials. Here, Aurubis is a leading global provider of non-ferrous metals and one of the largest copper recyclers worldwide. Its partnership with SMS has made circularity in metals a reality.
The whole society globally is, let's say, looking to the topic of environmental friendly technology. It is a technology partnership. SMS provides the technology which we need in order to be the forerunner in the non-ferrous metals industry.
Growing from its origins in this small German town, SMS now provides sustainable recycling solutions for all metals, just part of the worldwide solution to turn the metals industry green. This is a place where one of our favorite clothing items is produced that we all know and love, the t-shirt. Who doesn't have one of these or 100 of these in their closet? But you're going to be amazed at the sustainability practices that are underway here by one of the largest t-shirt producers in the world, as you're about to see. Honduras. It's located at the convergence of tropical and subtropical climates, so this Central American country embraces a huge diversity of life. From its oceans, freshwater lakes and rivers, to mountains ringed with lush cloud forests. Many of these pristine regions have barely been touched by humans. But Honduras is also known as a haven for manufacturers, which employ thousands of local residents, producing sugar, coffee, lumber, and most certainly, clothing products.
It's one of the largest employments that we have in the country. Actually, for over 30 years, it's been growing. And the textile apparel industry here in Honduras is large. There's over 180,000 employees, direct employees just in the textile apparel industry.
And one of the largest clothing manufacturers here in Honduras, Gildan. This producer of popular everyday apparel opened its first Honduras facility in 1997. From its beginning, the company decided to do things differently by using innovative manufacturing processes to lower its impact on the planet.
That means that we have to manufacture our products in a sustainable and ethical manner. And that is to make sure that we're critical with our water conservation, our energy conservation, and making sure that everything we do, we reduce our waste throughout all of our manufacturing process so that we can control our supply chain from beginning to end. That way everybody, whenever they buy a Gildan shirt, they make sure that it's done in a sustainable and ethical manner.
Gildan's state-of-the-art technologies are aimed at optimizing the use of natural resources and minimizing waste. One green initiative here is the facility's biomass steam generation system, which produces renewable energy.
We convert agricultural waste into steam, and we use the steam to feed our process needs in the textile industry. So like 10 years ago, we started this journey. Our target was to replace all the fossil fuel that we used to produce the steam for the process. Our ultimate goal is to have zero manufacturing waste by 2027. And right now in Rio Nance, we are able to replace the fossil fuel use equivalent to approximate 32,000 cars a year of emissions.
Another green initiative is Gildan's heat recovery system that captures thermal energy from steam to heat water for the dyeing process, as well as absorption chillers to create cool water for air conditioning systems. Then there's Gildan's most innovative wastewater management system.
Water, it's very important for us. It's our largest single natural resource that we use in our manufacturing process. That's why we put a lot of emphasis in implementing water efficiency programs and enhancing water quality.
So where are we right now? What do you call this place?
This is our beautiful biotop. This is the area where we treat our wastewater. This is a resource. This is the area where different kind of animals can live here. We have close to 30 crocodiles. We have different birds. We have goats. We started with 7 goats at the beginning, and now we have hundreds. They also do their part with nature. They cut the grass, and it's really a beautiful area, a beautiful ecosystem.
These are just some of the unique ways Gildan acts sustainably, controlling the entire process of how its apparel is designed, made, and sold in today's circular economy.
We are very proud of all the environmental initiatives that we have in place. We are very proud of using renewable energy, using our manufacturing processes.
Water conservation, energy conservation, waste management, and making sure that there's good circularity controls so that as you're manufacturing throughout the entire process, you're making sure that you're making great use of your resources.
Gildan operates here in Honduras in true harmony with nature, with a strong commitment to its people and communities. So I think it's safe to say that, well, Gildan is well known for the apparel they make, but maybe this company should be better known for how it's made. Next up, Andrea Ocampo is in Toronto, Canada.
Fresh water is our planet's most precious natural resource, and it's one of the most affected by climate change. Droughts are increasingly destructive. Those events hurt agriculture and directly affect human life. That's why all kinds of industries are looking for ways to conserve water.
As the outflow from the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Ocean, the St. Lawrence River belongs to one of the world's great freshwater ecosystems, and it forms the economic and cultural heart of this region. The St. Lawrence traverses the Canadian provinces of Quebec and Ontario, creating a natural border with New York. Along the way, this majestic river provides drinking water to 4 million people.
But with today's aging infrastructure, treating water to make it safe to drink and getting that water into homes has become a challenge. It's shocking to hear, but almost 3 trillion gallons of potable water leak from old, corroded metal and cement pipes in the U.S. every year.
Unfortunately, we're in a situation in North America where our infrastructure is falling apart, largely due to corrosion. Various studies done annually by the ASCE, the American Society of Civil Engineers, shows a D- rating for our infrastructure. So we need to put a lot of money into upgrading our systems because they are breaking and falling apart.
This plant behind me, Westlake Corporation, produces chlorine from salt water. They also make other products that help municipalities supplying clean drinking water.
In simple terms, electrolysis is passing an electric current through a liquid solution to get a chemical reaction. In our case, that liquid solution is brine, and brine is nothing but salt water. We have water from the river, natural resource. That water feeds the power plant. So the power that we get into our brine is actual hydroelectric power. That's very important because you are not using any fossil fuels for that chemical reaction. The 3 products that we get, the chlorine, the caustic soda, and the hydrogen, you have several sustainability components related to that. The caustic soda has a lower carbon content versus any conventional caustic soda, and the hydrogen is a green fuel source.
I wanted to see the PVC manufacturing process for myself. So we drove up to Westlake's PVC production facility in Woodbridge, near Toronto, for a look.
PVC is created from chlorine, which starts with a chemical process using brine, which is salt and water. These basic ingredients, when added to ethylene, create PVC for an end-use product such as pipe. PVCO uses 40% less raw materials to make an equivalent strength pipe, providing a sustainable solution of a lighter yet stronger pipe for municipal water delivery projects.
PVC is a very exciting material because, again, it's a material that meets the needs of society today. We want a better world. PVC is part of that solution. And you know what's really interesting is PVC is also the most cost-effective pipe material available. So again, you're not only getting all of these benefits from it, but it's costing less money. You can get more pipe in the ground and solve these infrastructure problems that we're all facing across North America.
For 35 years, Westlake has made products that enhance the lives of people around the world. Plastic wrap that keeps food fresh, medical products like IV bags and tubes, and as we know now, pipes that keep fresh, safe drinking water flowing.
We're the only piping material to have undertaken an environmental product declaration. And what did that mean? That's a full disclosure of all the impacts that our material has in the manufacturing, resource extraction, installation, and use phases.
When we pour a glass of water from the faucet, we don't often think about how it got into the glass or who made sure it was safe to drink. But that's the beauty of it. It's the commonality of such things that make them so valuable. So in that sense, maybe we should think of a company like Westlake as salt of the earth. Till next time.
Our next story takes us to California's San Joaquin Valley, the food basket to America. The weather here is a lot like the climate surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. So this makes it the perfect area, one of the top 5 in the world for growing this tasty bulb, the garlic. These days, people are looking to eat better. At the same time, more and more people want to know where their food comes from, that it's safe for their families, and produced sustainably. As a garlic farmer in the San Joaquin Valley, Derek Azevedo will tell you there's no better place on earth to grow it.
One of the reasons why this is among the best places in the world to grow garlic is really our Mediterranean climate. We have the opportunity to have long, mild winters, but more importantly, dry summers that allows us to give this garlic a chance to dry down without water up on the tops causing disease and rust. And so we get a chance to apply the water when we have it, and then our environment gives us the chance to allow this garlic to dry naturally.
It's clear that before you bring these beautiful bulbs to the table, it's a great idea to know where they came from. Or maybe you prefer the convenience of dried garlic.
In either case, chances are good a company called Olam Food Ingredients produced it at one of its global production facilities like this one in Hanford, California.
The Central Valley of California is the leading producer of garlic in all of America, and it has over 80% of the garlic right here in California. OFI has been producing garlic in this region, in the San Joaquin Valley for quite a few years. We are the major producer of dehydrated garlic actually in the world.
It means developing long-standing relationships with multi-generational farmers, including local garlic farmers who have invested in new technologies to shape the future of the garlic industry, like renewable energy to offset power demand. The 160-year-old Bowles Farm in Los Banos, California, recently added a solar farm with 2 large solar arrays that together produce a 0.5 megawatt of electricity to power its drip irrigation.
Just really innovation, being willing to be nimble, being willing to change, and being willing to learn and adapt, and having that growth mindset. You can't stick around without sustainability. You don't get a chance to farm for 160 years if you're unsustainable.
We have this great example of renewable energy, and this plays into our own OFI climate goals. It has a lot to do with like-mindedness. So we work with farmers who can stay in business because they're sustainable, because they're willing to adapt and partner and innovate And we work together to develop projects to kind of problem solve together and figure out, you know, how can we make the crop, how can we make the yield better, how can we make the farm better, the soil you operate on, the cost and quantity and quality of water you use.
From seed to factory to shelf, Olam's U.S. garlic is also being managed by experts in R&D labs for the introduction of ever more sustainable and nutritious garlic seeds that will be grown far in the future.
This is our OFI tissue culture lab. So the work that we do in this laboratory and what I'm holding here now will be the garlic that you consume in 9 years from now.
A sustainable future looks promising for the garlic thanks to constant research underway here at OFI, where garlic is being tested and grown to be on our dinner tables in the years to come, to spice up our life. Our next story takes us here amidst the scenic beauty of the Colorado Rockies outside Denver, Colorado. You know, today it's so important to save our environment so it can be enjoyed for generations to come. But today, even the places we shop and the places kids play are just as important for that conservation effort, as you're about to see. Every season is beautiful in Colorado, whether you visit the mountains to hike and bike or do something fun closer to home, like a little gardening. Now these kids are learning how to plant flowers here at Denver Premium Outlets. It's a center owned by Simon Property Group in Thornton, Colorado, just outside of Denver. It's a chance for kids like this to, well, get close to nature.
I planted a catmint, and it's special because it grows back every year, and it's also really good for the bees.
I planted a perennial, and it's important because it helps the earth.
What's the reason you planted this?
Because I wanted to keep the earth healthy and stuff.
These local youngsters may also learn some unexpected ways to be eco-friendly, which they can share with family members. For one thing, it's more eco-friendly to visit a store to pick up items you need than to order them online for delivery to your home. The reason, Simon says, people use less fuel and produce less waste by shopping at brick-and-mortar stores or by ordering from and returning items to a local store. Simon is well aware of this sustainability advantage. They hired a third-party consultancy firm, Deloitte, to confirm the numbers.
So what we found was that, driven mainly by the many extra stops that an online order makes until it finally arrives at your door, and that about 40% of these orders are ultimately returned, almost 6 times more than when you get together with family and friends at a place like this and actually buy what you need. What we discovered was that comparing the same basket of goods is not even close, and shopping bricks and mortar creates 60% fewer emissions and 5 times less waste.
A shopping center like Denver Premium Outlets also hosts all kinds of community events, many of which enhance its reputation as a good environmental steward and neighbor.
We believe in connecting with the community while aligning with environmental actions. That's why we're hosting this denim recycling drive behind me. We believe in educating the community about keeping clothing and denim out of the landfill and reusing materials.
And you can see environmental action throughout this LEED certified facility, from the solar PV panels atop its roof and low voltage LED lighting to the living wall of the food pavilion. The key was to avoid emissions from sourcing virgin materials in construction.
All our buildings were designed with high solar reflective roof systems. That means our center stays naturally cool and there are less greenhouse gas emissions.
Now, mixed-use redevelopment is another way that shopping centers can be good environmental neighbors, actually rebuilding on existing properties. That's what's happening here at Simon's North Gate Station in Seattle. Demolition of old department stores and reconstruction is still underway here, land on which the new mall will be built.
Oh, I think this is going to be a prototype where you're going to see transit-oriented development, pedestrian-friendly, live, work, play, stay, shop. It's all.
This is just the first little bit of it that's coming to fruition. By the time a couple more years roll around, it will look like the Garden of Eden. Simon's vision here, and for all their malls really, is to have a healthy, active lifestyle for their patrons and to exceed the basic retail function going forward and have community-centered developments and projects. It's very exciting.
Integrating everything from amphitheater to retail to hotels, conference center, even a National Hockey League practice facility for the NHL's newest team, the Seattle Kraken.
We're super excited to be an anchor of this development. So what we were able to do is really think about it differently, which is how can we give back something after we build these giant ice boxes. And we really landed on the solar aspect of it. We had these large roof volumes. And so what we committed to doing was putting 52,000 square feet of solar array on our roof. So almost all of our roofs are covered in solar. We put almost 580 kilowatts back into the grid on a regular basis.
And when you're not shopping or playing hockey at this Northwest Mall site, another environmental education also awaits the visitor, thanks to a new on-site bee farm.
People might think that's sort of a surprising spot to find some bees, but that's sort of exactly what we're going for, is creating opportunities for people to be sort of curious and noticing something and starting to ask questions about their ecosystems.
So knowing already the great advantages of shopping bricks and mortar retail, our mission is to green the rest by fully decarbonizing our portfolio and doing our part to combat climate change while also protecting our communities, local ecosystems, and natural resources. We've invested millions in renewable energy, operational efficiency, and eco-conscious development, and have cut our own emissions by almost 70%. We're committed to continue to invest in our shared future through both traditional and innovative solutions. By greening the rest, we'll then be able to offer our visitors with a completely carbon neutral shopping option. That is our mission.
It's all about the future of sustainability in shopping, where shopping centers offer the community a greener shopping solution, a chance to, well, bring the community together, and yes, even an environmental education to learn more about something like bees.